On the shores of Arabian Sea in the heart of bustling Mumbai, silence rules a forgotten corner. Welcome to Mukesh Mills. In the latter half of the 19th century, the wheels of industry in Mumbai were set in motion. Among the many businesses that sprang up during this period of booming growth was Mukesh Mills. Established in the 1870s, this textile mill was a testament to the city's burgeoning industrial prowess. The mill was a hive of activity, its looms humming from dawn till dusk, producing fine fabrics that were sought after across the country. Prosperity echoed through the mill's walls, as it provided livelihoods for hundreds of families and bolstered the city's economy. But as the decades rolled on, the fortunes of Mukesh Mills began to wane. The textile industry faced a downturn, and the mill, once a beacon of success, found it increasingly hard to keep its looms spinning. The once thriving mill turned into a shadow of its former self, a silent witness to the relentless march of time and change. The final nail in the mill's coffin came in the form of a devastating fire. The raging flames consumed the mill, reducing it to a charred skeleton of its former glory. The catastrophic incident led to the mill's abandonment, its once busy grounds now eerily silent, save for the whispers of the wind. In the aftermath of the fire, a new narrative took hold. Tales of strange happenings began to circulate. The ruins of the mill, it was said, were not as deserted as they seemed. The echoes of its prosperous past had given way to a haunting silence, a silence that was often broken by unexplained noises and eerie occurrences. Today, the charred ruins of Mukesh Mills stand not as a symbol of industrial success, but as a chilling testament to a haunted past. The echoes of the looms have long since faded, replaced by the whispers of the unseen. Welcome to the haunting silence of Mukesh Mills. As the smoke cleared and Mukesh Mills fell into decay, the local community began to whisper of strange happenings. The once bustling mill, now a silent specter, seemed to echo with eerie reverberations of its industrious past. The locals, their lives once intertwined with the mill, began to notice an unsettling shift in the atmosphere. The mill was no longer just an abandoned structure, it was a monument to an uncanny presence. In the stillness of the night, inexplicable noises would emanate from the mill. Sounds of grinding machinery, clanging metal, and labored breaths of workers long gone would drift into the quiet lanes of the neighborhood. These spectral sounds, out of place and time, sent a chill down the spines of the bravest hearts. But the sounds were just the beginning. There were sightings too. Shadows darting through the crumbling walls, flickering lights in the pitch-black windows, and figures standing still amidst the rusted machinery. The locals spoke in hushed tones of these apparitions, their stories a blend of fear and fascination. A general sense of unease began to permeate the community. The mill, once a symbol of livelihood, now cast a long, ominous shadow over their lives. Children were warned not to venture near it after sundown, and adults crossed themselves when they passed by. The mill wasn't just a building anymore. It was a haunting presence, a spectral specter that loomed large in their minds. Accounts of supernatural occurrences started to circulate. Stories of strange phenomena, shared in hushed whispers, began to take on a life of their own. These tales were told and retold, each time gaining more detail, more horror, and more believability. Yet they were always shrouded in mystery, the details tantalizingly vague and the truth ever elusive. The whispers grew louder, and fear began to grip the hearts of the bravest, as the legend of Mukesh Mill was born. The spirits of Mukesh Mills were not content with mere whispers. They sought to make their presence known in more terrifying ways. As days turned into weeks, the haunting escalated from whispers to full-blown apparitions. Workers who dared to venture into the mill after sundown reported encountering spectral figures, their faces twisted in expressions of torment that made the blood run cold. One night, a security guard named Ravi claimed to have seen a woman draped in white, her hollow eyes glowing in the darkness. She floated above the ground, drifting through the abandoned machinery as if it didn't exist. The sight was enough to turn Ravi's hair white overnight. There were others too, an eerie laughter echoing through the mill, a child's voice crying out in the silence, a sudden chill in the air, objects moving of their own accord. Each incident added a new layer to the terror that clung to Mukesh Mills like a shroud. A group of daredevil youngsters eager to test the authenticity of these tales ventured into the mill one night. They were a boisterous bunch, their laughter and jests echoing through the cavernous mill. But as the night wore on, their bravado faded. One by one, they fell silent, their faces pale and eyes wide with terror. Whatever they saw that night, they refused to speak of it. They left the mill before dawn, their laughter replaced by a silence more haunting than the whispers of the mill. These encounters, these personal brushes with the supernatural, painted a chilling picture of Mukesh Mills. Each story, each experience was a testament to the haunting presence that had claimed the mill as its own. The mill was no longer a place of work, no longer a symbol of Mumbai's industrial past. The mill was no longer just an abandoned structure. It had become a playground for the unseen. Word of the spectral happenings at Mukesh Mill spread across the city, reaching the ears of thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the city, a sense of anticipation filled the air. Mukesh Mill was no longer just an abandoned structure. It had become a chilling landmark, shrouded in an aura of mystery and unease. The whispers of spectral encounters grew louder with each passing day, and the legend of Mukesh Mill soon seeped into the fabric of Mumbai. Like a moth drawn to a flame, the thrill seekers couldn't resist the allure of the mill. They came in droves, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and excitement as they stepped into the haunted confines. Their flashlights pierced the darkness, revealing crumbling walls that bore silent witness to the tales of the supernatural. Among the countless chilling encounters, a few stood out. One group of thrill seekers claimed to have heard the eerie sound of an unseen loom, its rhythmic clatter echoing through the silent mill. Another reported the sudden drop in temperature, a bone-chilling cold that seemed to seep into their very souls. Yet another recounted the feeling of being watched, of unseen eyes tracking their every move. But perhaps the most terrifying encounter was experienced by a lone thrill seeker. As his flashlight swept across the room, he noticed a shadowy figure lurking in the corner. He froze, his breath hitched in his throat as the figure seemed to move closer. He turned to run, but tripped and fell. When he looked up, the figure was gone. These stories, each more chilling than the last, added layers to the legend of Mukesh Mill. They fueled the curiosity of the brave and the foolhardy, and the mill became a magnet for those seeking a brush with the supernatural. The legend of Mukesh Mill had spread far and wide, drawing in those who dared to confront the supernatural. As we stand on the brink of the present, the haunting legacy of Mukesh Mills persists. Once a symbol of Mumbai's industrial success, Mukesh Mills today is a chilling testament to the city's forgotten past. Built in the late 19th century, the mill was a beacon of prosperity, churning out textiles that clothed a nation. Yet, a devastating fire in the mid-20th century brought an abrupt end to this era of abundance. The mill was left to crumble, its once bustling halls now echoing with an eerie silence. But as the structure decayed, stories began to seep from its weathered bricks. Tales of spectral apparitions and phantom whispers, of chilling presences felt in the dead of night. The mill, it seemed, was not as abandoned as it appeared. Over time, these stories transformed Mukesh Mills from a derelict industrial site into a haunted landmark. A place where the line between the living and the dead blurs, where the echoes of a bygone era resonate with an uncanny life of their own. This transformation has captivated the imagination of locals and tourists alike, ensuring the mill's enduring place in Mumbai's folklore. The fascination with Mukesh Mills is not just about the thrill of the supernatural, though. It's also a reflection of our collective curiosity about the past, our desire to connect with history in its rawest, most visceral form. The mill, with its spectral residents, offers a unique window into a Mumbai that no longer exists, a city that has been swallowed up by the relentless march of modernity. So, Mukesh Mills stands, a haunting legacy that refuses to be erased. It's a stark reminder of a past that lingers in the present, of stories that refuse to die. It's a place where the spectral and the tangible coexist, where the echo of looms long silenced is replaced by whispers of the unseen. In the end, the ruins of Mukesh Mills serve as a stark reminder. Some places, no matter how forgotten by time, will never be abandoned by their past.